Europeans prepare to channel their bank savings into strategic investments, the European Commission hopes so, as it is at the heart to create a new savings and investment union. The goal is to help EU companies grow. eu-decoded checks the sums on the new plan to boost Europe's economy.
According to the Mario Draghi report, the EU needs around €800 billion in additional investment each year to remain competitive. One new source could be Europeans' piggy banks, as households save €1.4 trillion annually. It's estimated that around €10 trillion is sitting idle in low-yield bank deposits in the EU. The Savings and Investment Union proposes to redirect part of it to invest in key sectors, such as transport infrastructure, energy or defence.
He is investing in financial products with a seal of EU guarantee attractive. Let's see what some citizens think.
I really want Europe to become more competitive on the global scene, and I think Europe is really a beacon of democracy at this time. So, yeah, I think we need to support Europe for sure.
I would just be very conservative to stuff that I know that it would last, would have a clear future.
Why not? If I got any chance to invest, then I will invest definitely.
Nekem már a magánnyugdíjamat ellopták, én már alapjáraton bizalmatlan vagyok ezekhez a dolgokhoz.
Egyszerűen most pillanatnyilag az a helyzet, hogy erről nem hallottam, amit ön mond, és nem hiszem, hogy a unió gazdasági kérdésekben az emberek zsebében nyúlkálna, mint mások.
Hát elég komoly információkra, hogy hogy mit vásárol meg az unió egyrészt, és hogy ebből mi hogyan részkedünk.
With us is Paula Soler, who covers financial and economic affairs for Euronews. Investing in markets can be a risky and complex process. What does the plan propose in terms of financial literacy?
We have very poor levels of financial literacy across the EU, meaning that people really don't understand how capital markets work, how to invest in different products, etc. So they are announcing this proposal, this strategy to boost financial literacy by the third quarter of this year to tackle this problem. Some MEPs are already suggesting initiatives such as web comparison sites, so clients, citizens can check different products and see what suits better. And they are also proposing, for example, to regulate financial influencers, their activity, what they post, and these kind of things.
And another proposal in the plan is to increase the supplementary workers' pension schemes that run in parallel with public pension funds. How would this work?
The Commission wants member states to really develop these supplementary pensions that deliver for citizens. And they are proposing two measures. The first one is to review these EU existing frameworks. And on the other hand, they will also serve best practices on the so-called auto-enrollment, which is a mechanism that automatically enrolls individuals into pension products, pension schemes, unless they actively opt out of this. And if it's properly designed, this could basically channel citizen savings into pension products, and both proposals are supposed to be announced by the end of the year.
Do you think there are enough incentives for citizens to help increase private capital in the European economy?
So we see this new impetus from the Commission to really move forward with these plans and to channel these citizen savings into the strategic investments that we need. But the real question here is, will member states have the political will to make this happen? And apart from these new investment products, are we also going to see more consumer protection, a real boost to financial literacy, so citizens are really empowered to go there and invest their money? And I think that only time will tell if they actually deliver.
Besides tapping on citizen savings, the plan has three other important ambitions. One is to help financing for startups and riskier projects that have difficulty obtaining bank loans. Another is to approve a common deposit insurance scheme, crucial for completing the banking union. Finally, it wants to harmonise rules that will make cross-border investing easier, crucial for having a capital markets union.
Our guest is Rebecca Christie, Senior Fellow at Bruegel Think Tank here in Brussels. Do you think there could be some investment products that would have kind of a quality sealed by the European Commission so that people think this could be a good idea for my savings?
So in my own work, I've thought it would be very helpful to have a European Union label to help people sort through the field of funds out there. Because in some countries, it's not that there aren't products available, it's that people don't know where to find them, or they don't know how to tell the good ones from the bad ones or anything like that. If that process can be streamlined somewhat by having a smaller list of already available products that are generally suitable for general investors, that have a long-term investing horizon, that are diversified, that have low fees, that are appropriate for people saving for their pensions, then some of these extra costs and compliance burdens can go away on both sides for the people using the accounts and the people offering them, and that might make it easier.
Rather than exposing people to the capital markets risks, wouldn't it be better that the European Investment Bank would increase its firepower?
Well, the European Investment Bank works on a very different level. It makes loans to things like cross-border infrastructure projects and new innovative companies that can try and get them going. But that's not on the scale to really fund the retirements of everybody across the EU. And also that's an investment in a project or a company. It's not an investment in a pot of money that's going to grow.
And fundamentally, the European Commission is kind of still pushing for governments in terms of creating the banking union and the single capital market. Are member states willing to give up sovereignty in this area?
Depends on how you look at sovereignty. If you look at sovereignty as protecting financial stability and the best interests of your own economy, it makes sense to want to have joined up capital markets. The banking union is about half done. We've seen within the euro area that banking supervision for the biggest banks is at the ECB. Banking supervision for smaller banks is still with member states. And this has worked very well. The banks on the whole are safer. They're being managed well to the extent that asset managers, clearing houses, other types of players in this capital market space can all play by the same rules and can all work together within the EU single market, which is its biggest strength. That'll be good.
The European Commission is trying to capture more private capital, but also prevent it from fleeing to other jurisdictions, notably the US. Let's see if these actions convince citizens to risk their savings on the future of European business.